G'day, how you going? It's Richard from Offroad Touring Life, and this here is our 2013 FJ Cruiser. So if you've been following me for a while, I had a GU Patrol for 14.5 years, and I've just sold that, and I picked this up over a week ago, and I've already done close to 800 kilometers in it, and I'm really enjoying driving it. So what I'll do now, I'll give you a quick walk around and why I decided to choose the FJ Cruiser as our next four-wheel drive. So the FJ, now it's an interesting choice, I suppose. It's not a car that you know, would be high on everyone's sort of radar, but we had a good look at these about 6-7 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, and at that time our girls were quite a bit younger. Space in the back is a bit more limited, and with the suicide doors, you know, it's not always practical for a family of 4, but now we're able to consider this as an option. I didn't really want a dual cab and go down the dual cab path. I have had those before, but decided to stick with the wagon style. It's got the V6 in it. It's the auto, so it's totally different than our previous Patrol, which was a diesel and a manual. So just to come here with this spot is now is a fairly decent hill climb with heaps of erosion mounds. Just popped in low range and it did it with ease. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it does go when we start heading out into some more tracks. Now, something about the FJ that, you know, could turn quite a few people off is these suicide doors, like what I mentioned before. So to gain access to the back, you do have to open up the driver's door there, and just inside here there's a handle which gains access to the back. Now when the doors are all open, it does create quite a unique area there for accessing your vehicle, but you know, that's not for everyone. You can't open the back doors or get out of the back doors unless the driver or passenger has opened up the front doors. So that's a little bit of a downfall with it if you have your rear passengers in there. The other beauty of it is, when it is like this, you can drop the rear seats right down. So you lift up the base first, flip that over, and then you drop the back supports down, you pop the headrest out, and it becomes almost a perfectly flat area there. So you've got, you know, plenty of luggage room there. One thing I will be doing different in this one as well is not running a cargo barrier like I did in the old car as well. I'm just going to have it nice, big and open in there. So storage compartments in the FJ. In the back door, we have a drink bottle holder here and another little compartment down the bottom. And both the driver and the passenger has a little door pocket in there. Now this bottom compartment, when the door's closed, it'd be pretty hard to get to, but that's a good spot. Maybe, you know, a couple of soft shackles and tyre gauge or something like that can sit down there where it's easy to grab if you need it. Another feature as well is that the rear glass, that actually pops up individually or separately from the door. So that's just a matter of popping your key in the rear lock. You turn it, hold it for a second, and you'll hear it click, and then you can raise the door up, which is quite good if you're camping somewhere and it's a warm day. You can have the door closed and then you can just have your glass up, get that ventilation running through the car. Now the lady I bought it off didn't even realise that had even opened up. So she was quite surprised when I opened that, just to see whether it worked or not, which was a good sign to see how much work this car had done. It was actually still quite clean underneath that glass. It hadn't been cleaned and detailed, so that was a good little sign. I crawled along all underneath it. Yeah, it's a really good example of a very clean FJ. Yes, it does have a few little marks and a few little scratches and stuff on it, but for a car from 2013 coming on 9 years old this year, it is in really good condition. So some of the standard features on the FJ, it's got traction control, it's got a rear factory locker, it's got the A-track in the front, so when you're off-road and you're lifting a wheel, it uses it through the braking system to help gain traction. So the A-track works in low range, so that's not automatic or anything, that's also activated off a button off the dashboard. It has touchscreen radio, obviously like your air conditioning and all that sort of stuff. The seats, I'm finding the seats really comfy. It has a fold down center rest, so the console It doesn't have a console lid or anything on it, but it has two big cup holders. I quite like the armrest that does drop down. Makes driving a lot more comfortable as well. Now, something that's quite unique about it, the dashboard. The dash itself, I don't know how long it is, I haven't measured it. Let's call it 4 to 6 inches away. Now, that distance in there is quite unique when you're sitting in it. It's like I've seen on a few videos when people talk about them. It's like you're driving and watching a flat screen TV, and that's what it's like. It's nice and far away. It's quite unique, but a couple of things about that, with the windscreens being so upright, they can be prone to chipping and cracking. As you can see, the windscreen there is quite upright, so they're not very aerodynamic in their design with that, but yeah, I really like that. A couple of things that people don't like as well is the blind spots out the back. I haven't found it to be too much of an issue where I live. I'm not doing any city driving or anything like that, but I could see it being a problem. But the mirrors work quite well. But it also comes factory with a reverse camera, which pops on up in your mirror there, so when you pop reverse. And it also has rear parking sensors, but they only activate if you push the button and you want them on when you're in reverse. So that's just something else that's standard on the FJ, on the 2013. All right, a few more little things. There's so many things going on in this car. It's also got headlight adjust, which is quite good. So I guess if you're towing, you can adjust your headlight, or if you've got a load on as well, you can adjust your headlights. Now the floors, there's no carpet in the FJ at all. It's all rubber or a plastic sort of coat, which is quite good. I don't mind that, especially, you know, you can already see how much dirt and dust and that I've dragged inside it. That just looks after the, you know, you don't have to worry about getting the carpet all sorted. And even in the rear cargo area, which I'll open back up, no carpet again in here. And there is two 12-volt cigarette lighter sockets there, and your jack and stuff's on that side. And on the driver's side, there's a little compartment in there as well, which, you know, you could store things in there, which I'll work out. Now on the back here is where your reverse camera is. This did have a big flat disc on there. I took that off. I think it looks better without it. And it also came with these weather shields, which might not interest some, but I had them on the Patrol as well, and I find them to be really good. Now something else the FJ has 3 wiper blades across the for the windscreen there, so you know there's a bit going on there when you're driving when it's rainy. And something else I forgot to add, on the steering wheel you've also got you got cruise control, and you've also got your phone and your audio controls on the steering wheel there as well. There's so many different models and variants you see from around the world, but Australia does come out with a long range tank in their models, but that only started midway through 2013 or into 2014, I believe. So this one doesn't have the long range tank. That may be something possibly I'll put in later on. So at the moment it's just got the 72 litre tank, which is something I just got to be mindful of when I'm out touring around. So with driving it so far, like I said, I've only just done this first bit of 4 driving up here to film this little video for you all. The on-road characteristics, I love it. Jump in it and away you go. Plenty of power to sit up, you know, straight up any hill, and you know, haven't found it to be lacking anywhere in the power department. When they came out, you know, they claimed 200 kilowatts of power out of the 4 litre V6. Now, like I said, this had low Ks when I bought it. Had 136,000 on it. So a lot of the ones I'm looking at were getting up around the 180 to 200,000. I just preferred the low Ks, and of course having it, you know, a stock one as well. Looking forward to. All right, let's talk about what I've got planned for the FJ. So first thing is going to be the roof rack, so then I can run my awning, and then when I get my 12-volt stuff done, I'm going to look at running some camp lights off that as well. And I think I might just run the side awning for now. I've still got the rear awning, so one side will be an awning, the other side will be my shower awning tent. Now the front end will be taken care of with I reckon it'll be an ARB bull bar TJM snorkel. And something I didn't mention before is I'm going to look at the factory rock sliders. There's some second-hand ones of those kicking around, so I'll see what turns up soon. I'll keep an eye on Facebook, etc. But if you happen to have some second-hand rock sliders around, let me know. Bash plates, I'm not sure what brand. If you've got any recommendations, feel free to comment down below on that. But there's 3 main companies that I see do bash plates. Driving lights, I'm not going to run driving lights. I'm going to just run a thin light bar. I want to keep that grille as open as I can. Not only because I like the cool look at the front of the FJ, but also to keep that radiator, you know, maximum airflow, keep it as efficient as I can, and look after the auto. So if we're doing sand driving, etc. like that, or long touring trips, just keeps that optimum airflow going in. Tyres, I'm going to probably stick with a 265, and I think I'm going to go back to a BFG tyre, and like I mentioned before, be a muddy, so a KM3. But yeah, I'm just looking at the 265s, I think, for this setup. They may change down the track, but that's what way I'm thinking right at the moment. Suspension, haven't really gone right into researching that too much yet, but I'm not going to look at doing a, you know, a crazy lift and all that sort of stuff. The GU was just a 2-inch lift, and that did everything we could. I understand that this is a bit different, and the GU I could point it at any hill and it wouldn't be a problem. Where this, I'm going to have to be a little bit careful again. Something else I will also add to the mods, or you know, mods, however you want to interpret that word, is the UHF. I'm going to look at doing an 80 channel. In the GU I only had the 40 channel in there, so that was obviously old technology, and it's all crackly and stuff as well when you're talking to people on the 80s. Now I can do on the FJs, you can get a rear radio aerial mount for the back door there, so I'm considering whether I'll go down that path or not. I'll just go traditional and chuck it on the front. But that's just something else I thought I'd throw in there to add to the big growing list. Alright, so I had a list of things to talk about the FJ. Now I'm pretty sure I have covered everything. If I haven't, or if there is something else you would like to know, pop it in the comments down below. If you know someone with an FJ, or you have an FJ yourself, comment down below as well. I'd like to know your thoughts and your experiences with an FJ. Now, my journey with FJ started back when I was only, you know, 18 months old or younger. I'll pop a photo over the top there now, you can see that. But that was the FJ40, and now I'm back in an FJ now, all these years later. Now, if you have any suggestions on any of the things I've mentioned or I might have missed, again, pop it down the comments down below. Feel free to share the video around to anyone that, you know, you think might be interested in it. But please follow along. I'm going to be, you know, doing short videos as the accessories, you know, start building onto the car. So hopefully they don't take too long, but you know, everything takes time waiting for things these days. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, and if you have liked it, hit that subscribe down there. That means a lot to us when you do. And if you do see us around, like always, make sure you say g'day and give us a wave, and we'll have a chat. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Righto, I know I finished the video, but now this is final thoughts, which will be the end of the video. Few differences: low range first and second. There is a big, I don't know what the ratios are, etc., but there is a big difference between low first and low second, particularly descending, so that's something I'm going to have to get used to. And this thing does lift wheels pretty easy, which I was well and truly aware of before I bought it, before everyone comments down below. It's a totally different setup than the GU, but yeah, just even coming down there, a few wheels off the ground and stuff. I'm by myself. I didn't have a tripod, so I couldn't set it up, but yeah, you can definitely notice that. Now the dirt road coming into here as well, just quickly, the traction control works awesome. You can feel that moving around, any little slippage, and then, you know, you get a little light flickering on the dash, even at low speeds was just sort of putting into where I am. But yeah, definitely a big difference between low second and low first. Now I climbed it all up there, no worries. Like I said, it is a very plenty of power in that motor, but just for that compression. And yep, it's nothing new to me, but I just thought I'd share that all with you. Yeah, a few wheels off the ground, just particularly with the rear coming over a few of those mounds and crossing a few ruts, etc. But yeah, you'll see plenty of that coming up when we're doing more videos. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers.